Guys, today we are going to be aliquoting LB media into 96 well blocks so that we can do a screen for some sort of a biological activity. I've already done the majority of them. I have LB with 0 arabinose, 6 micrograms per mil arabinose, and 200 micrograms per mil arabinose, and these blocks are all full. So I'm just going to really quickly show you how I filled these blocks up. So I take my media, it already has my arabinose and my antibiotics in it, pour it into a boat using the sterile technique, and this boat is right next to that flame, so it should be pretty sterile. And then I can move the bottle off to the side, and then I can bring my block right next door, flame off my tips, and then I'm pulling up about 1 mil of media and just transferring it, and I can just do this 8 times and I'm good to go. When you're doing this, you want to bring your thumb up slowly. If I bring it up too quickly, you can see that that one works, but sometimes you get bubbles in it, and that will throw off the volume of one of your wells, which could throw off the results of your experiment. So I've done 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. So I have just enough media. And then I'm done with the aliquoting. So now we have all of our blocks nice and labeled. And now we're just going to inoculate them. So we have here a 96 well T-can plate. Each one of these 96 wells has a different clone, a different library member. And this library has undergone a selection. And now we're going to be looking at the behavior of these clones in different conditions. Again, our conditions are 0, middle, and high induction with arabinose. So I'm going to really quickly just open this up. I have taped it all up, but I'm not going to deal with the tape, so I just slice it open with a razor blade. And we're not taking any measurements on these T-can plates, so I don't need to be too worried about scratching them up. But the cellophane sticks to them, so you want to be careful when you're opening it, because it can slide unexpectedly, stick to your glove, and then your experiment ends up on the ground. And that is just no good at all. So I've labeled everything really well, and by really well, I mean only I can tell how I've labeled it. And I have Roman numeral 2 here, which corresponds to this sample 2. So 0, 2, 6, 2, 202. And before I stamp this, I really quickly just want to hold it up to the light and make sure that it's cloudy, so you can see that it's not clear, it's kind of fuzzy. That means I have good bacterial growth. And then I want to pay attention to how I am stamping this. So these 96 well trays have a little notch at the upper left-hand corner. So A, B, C, D goes down that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 goes down that way. I want to pay attention to that notch. Now, the 96 well blocks have a similar notch, so it goes A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 12. So I want to pay attention to that. I have my own way of doing it. I just always keep that little notch to the left. But how we actually get the bacteria into our 96 well block is you take your pin tool, 96 well pin tool, looks like this. It's sterile, been autoclaved. I just zap it with a little bit of flame real quick, and you want to come from the side and then dip your pin tool in. It's kind of tricky to do. Then just swirl it around a couple times, and then lift it up. Dip it into the 96 well block. Swirl it around a couple times, and then because this has 0 arabinose, I can go right back in here. And then inoculate the next concentration up. But because this second sample does have arabinose, I don't want to go back into my cell stocks, because that will contaminate this cell stocks and change their state. So I'm going to leave that pin tool to the side, grab a second pin tool, quickly buzz it off with flames, get some bacteria on the tips, stamp it in, and then we're good to go. So this little set has been inoculated. To finish it off, all I gotta do grab an air force strip or two, open it up, put it down on top and just kind of press it down. It doesn't need to be sealed perfectly. And then we're good to go. We can just put these into the shaker, 37 degrees, or however long our induction is. And that is how you set up your screen. So we'll be back in 5 hours after these have been shaking.